another thing that I need to get rid of this hang up is, you see, there's some people who teach this thing called balanced life. You know, you got to live a very balanced life. I totally agree to that. You know, you got to watch out for your personal growth. You know, you got to have time for spend time on your health. You got to spend time on your relationship, your friends, social circles, your relationship with your boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, whatever. Then you got to spend time on your work. Then you got to spend time on your business life. So a lot of people say, no, I got to live a balanced life, which is quite true. But the problem with this is that when I talk to people who are failing in life, and I say, why is your health, why is it not so good? And they say, you know, how can my health be good? I got to spend time on so many things in my life, so many facets in my life. That's why my health is suffering. They say, why is your relationship suffering? Oh, you know, Robert, you don't understand. You know, I got to spend time on my health. I got to spend time on this. I got to spend time on this and this. So every facet of their life, there are 4 excuses why they're not doing well. Okay? That's the problem. Okay? Now, if there's a verse in the Christian Bible, I happen to be Christian. I hope I'm not offending anybody. I just want to pluck out a verse from the Christians got their own book. It's called the Bible. Okay? And in the Bible, it is said that there's a time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven. This is a short essay of it. They say there's a time to be born, there's a time to die, time to plant, time to uproot, time to kill, time to heal, you know, time to tear down, time to build, time to weep, time to love, blah, 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 blah. Okay, there's a time for everything, for every activity under heaven. It also goes on to say time to scatter stone, time to gather, blah, 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 time to tear, time to mend, time to love, time to hate, time for war, and a time for peace. Okay? So, when you read this, the thing is that, what does it mean to you? What's it trying to tell you? First of all, it says that there's a time for everything, right? Don't worry, there's a time for everything. But more importantly is what? What do you think it is? What's the verse trying to tell you?
You cannot escape from the facts, like facts of life by just giving excuses. I mean, like you said that the balanced life consists of like 6 things, 5 things. So if someone gives excuses like I didn't get time to do this because I was doing this, that's unfair because like someone has allocated time for everything. You just need to manage the time.
Wow, very good. The answer is right. The question is wrong. Okay. That's supposed to be a joke. The answer is right, the question is wrong. I actually don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't matter as long as you know what you're talking about. Okay? But what it really shows is that, you see, there's a time for everything. And it's not the same time. There's a time to laugh, there's a time to cry. Not the same time. You can't do laugh and cry at the same time. Okay? You can't fight and love at the same time. There's a time for everything. Which means that there's this thing called priorities. You've got to have priorities in your life. So when you're young, and you just graduate, the priority is setting yourself up financially. If you want to become rich, you've got to spend time being rich. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't look after your health. You only need to spend half an hour a day. If you can spend just half an hour a day, you can be super fit. You don't need to run the marathon to be fit. Going to the gym today, work on the treadmill, run half an hour today, tomorrow do some weights, next day go back to the gym, run, next day do weights. You'll be fit. You don't have to spend a lot of time to eat correctly. Learn how to eat correctly. You don't need to waste a lot of time on that. So a lot of time when you're growing is to spend time on building your career and working hard. Later there's a time for everything. I was young once like you. Okay, hate to say it, but I was young like you. And young people always say, I got to do it now because what if I die tomorrow, you know? I got to dance, you know, I got to go to the car, I got to go to Zouk parties because what if I die tomorrow? Well, I'm telling you, it's very hard to die tomorrow. Chances are you won't die tomorrow. There's not time for everything. And you find that if you want to become rich, you got to make the sacrifices. You cannot say, I want to spend time doing all this and at the expense of my work, at the expense of my career. And then expect to be rich. They are priorities. Okay? And I would so can anyone juggle everything? Answer is no. You can't juggle. So there's priorities. If you want to become rich, then there must be more effort, more time spent on career. building the business. And you will talk to any successful people, they will tell you the same thing. They will be working hard, they'll be working 12, 14, 16-hour days, building up their businesses, and that's why they're successful. If you work for 8 hours, I assure you, you just survive. You work for 10, you sikit atas. Sikit atas means a bit above the average. Okay?